When you think of the word sustainable energy, do you think of giant AI data centers going up in the middle of your protected forests and national parks that will inevitably bring irreversible environmental damage as well as not that much economic success as far as what they promise? Would you be happy at that point? Because I know I would. I love getting dicked down by giant corporations that just don't have any interest in me whatsoever and just look to make the most amount of money possible in a short amount of time that they're going to be there. Screw everybody else over in the process. I love those companies, especially the massive AI push that we're seeing across the United States right now, where any company that just mentions the word AI gets a giant boost in their stock and just gets immediate attention in the news as far as what their next step is, what they're going to be doing, what they're going to be innovating and whatnot. Because AI is just a buzzword that anybody can use right now, spam it a bunch of times, and it's basically a free money generator. All right, especially if you're a big corporation, you say the word AI, people will flock to you and give you their money like it's fucking, I don't know, like you're a thief or whatnot, and you're just stealing money, because you essentially are just stealing money. There's no actual promise that AI has delivered on yet. Any actual function that AI has been said that it's going to be used for has not actually been used yet. And it's insane how these companies can just continue to get away with abusing the environment, abusing their own people, their own citizens, and nobody gives a shit. But that's not what I'm here to talk about in general. And specifically, I want to talk about what's going on with Kevin O'Leary right now and the huge 40,000 acre AI data center he's trying to build in the middle of the Utah Valley. Um, I don't know if anybody has seen anything over the last couple of days with what he's been saying, but this dude is genuinely delusional. And when I say delusional, like, he is the top of the food chain, idiotic as far as how he thinks this will positively impact the United States. I'm not even sure if he genuinely believes what he's saying. I think he's just trying to say it in order to get as much good press off as possible before he realizes this thing's going to blow up like a Chernobyl.
I'm just very concerned about replacing people, their purpose for living, which is to create, with machines. That seems like hell to me, literally hell. So I think it's fair to ask, like, how is this not hell? And no one has been able to answer it.
Yeah, I think trying to stop advancement of technology with the uncertainty it brings has always been a dilemma in capitalism and in America, and it's a fair comment.
But how
And
is
and
this capitalism? If taxpayers are paying for some of it, how is that capitalism? That
oh, I
seems
think that's no.
How is this going to be impactful to the people when AI is just constantly replacing their ability to do stuff? Because genuinely, what are we on this earth to do other than to create stuff? Like, what is human passion and drive for, if not just the will to want to create and learn more? And what can we do if AI already does everything for us and knows everything for us? There's just nothing for humans to do at that point. You're going to create a massively depressed society where suicide rate's probably going to be at least 50%. I mean, I'm just speculating, but that's genuinely what cyberpunk looks like, a crime rate of, I think it's like 70, or I think it's like 700 per every like 2,000 people get killed in Night City. It genuinely sounds like that's what they're trying to do with with producing AI. Just make it so everybody lives in a mass dystopian society where nothing brings joy and the only exodus is killing yourself or killing somebody else. Like, it's insane how they think that this is a logical step in human evolution. That was another thing that Kevin O'Leary pointed out. There's always been feats like this in human evolution, in human innovation, where people have waved concerns in front of the face of scientific innovation and exploration. And this is just one of those other things that we have to wave the concerns away and just push forward. No, I genuinely think we are smart enough that we are beyond the time where we can just blindly test shit and hope it goes for the best. All right, We did that a bunch of times throughout the 50s and 60s. I don't know if you ever knew about things like asbestos or old cookware or products that are no longer being used that were used back then, because they didn't know that a bunch of chemicals and like miscellaneous products they were using in residential cleaning supplies and like food supplies and whatnot were actually dangerous to people. They had to go back and reinvent those products. All right. It's the same exact thing with AI. You don't just want to dump it into the ocean and just hope that it doesn't kill all the fish. You want to be able to properly study and research it before you release it to everybody to be able to use. All right. Like the same thing could have been said with the internet. We saw how that went, and we're still trying to repair ourselves from the internet about 30, 40 years ago. But it makes no sense how these people just continuously want to dogpile on the worst things possible and then just say, oh, well, just screw the consequences. Who gives a fuck? You know, it doesn't matter in the long run as long as we make money.
Do you see how other people find it unfair that one of the richest people in America, you, in league with the biggest companies in America, Amazon, Microsoft, et cetera, the ones you listed, that the richest people in our society would be taking money from people much poorer than them? That seems very unfair.
You know, Tucker, I'll speak for myself on this. I'm not motivated by money anymore.
That is the biggest pot of bullshit I have ever smelt in my life. If he is not motivated by money, I am 6'5", black, and drive a Lamborghini Urus. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? He's not motivated by money. If he wasn't motivated by money, he wouldn't be building a 40,000 acre AI data center that has already been... There was a literal ad campaign in Utah to try to get this stopped. All right. And there's no way that you would not be for money and not be able to see that. Like, what? It blows my mind how stupid these people are. But going back to what Tucker Carlson says, he asks a very important question. Is it, and I think he probably should have phrased it a little bit differently because this gives Kevin O'Leary an open out into it. But he said, do you think it's fair that the taxpayer, the average taxpayer, which could be anywhere from a struggling mom of 4 to somebody living on their own who just makes a little bit above the average income so they can support themselves, but they can't do anything like extravagant or unique or cool in life. They're just coasting on through life, you know? Is it fair to those people to have to pay for an AI data center that they're never going to see, never going to go to, not even in their same fucking state, and yet they have to contribute money to it? Or let's just say it is only specific to Utah. They're only making the state of Utah and their citizens pay those taxes. Is it fair to those citizens that their clean water is now getting ripped away and their energy bills are going to be skyrocketing and they have to pay for that? How is that fair? Like, genuinely, how does that make any sense? And what like correct mindset does one have to have in order to obtain this perspective? Because I'm dumbfounded, honestly. There's not enough money in the world that could make somebody this retarded. So I genuinely think he was brought up like this. Like, Kevin O'Leary has to be stupid. And it's so disappointing to see that this is the state of how the environmental affairs go, political affairs, economic affairs, name it what you want. You know, it's the state of the United States right now. We're choosing our own self-interest over the good of the community and like the interests of the future of the country. Genuinely, what do you think is going to happen in 30 years from now if the next couple generation of kids cannot find jobs due to AI being massively implemented in the workforce, as well as if there's nowhere for them to go and just enjoy life? What do you think that's going to mean for everybody that's stuck in these giant mega cities? Like, if there's no environment to enjoy, one, there's no resources to collect, so we're just going to have to recycle and recreate stuff out of thin air, which I don't know if anybody knows anything about alchemy. It's kind of impossible. But secondly, it's like, if you don't have a place where you can just go and get away from the overall stress of like a city or like an urban life or whatnot, like genuinely that's where people start to go insane and crime rate starts to go up massively. So having sanctuary environments where people can go and dedicate time to just relaxing and getting away is crucial to modern day life. And it's just like that's being stripped away here for a fucking AI data center. It sickens me. But yeah, that's just what I wanted to talk about today. Pretty scary shit going on. I imagine we'll see a lot more AI data centers pop up throughout the end of the year. Who knows? There may be one coming to Florida pretty soon. I hope not. They were trying to build one in the Everglades, but thank God we got that stopped. Because the rich people care too much about the Everglades. So thank God. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. See ya.